Okay, so this is a class type of a video here. So now, we have something called warm-up. What's it called? Warm-up series or something?
Warm-up exercises.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a package, and I should have shown it to everybody because it's a good way to practice your rolls. And Chris has been using it a lot, and he can endorse it. We'll get his endorsement here in a minute, but I have to pay him. He has to draw up a special form that I won't use it in the porn industry or something. But so you're doing, all this thing does is just, along with me on the video, we just do this. And it's probably 2 or 2.5 hours of. Start at one speed, and within the track of a couple minutes it will start at one speed, and when you get done with the track 2 minutes later, you may have increased by 10 or 15%. And then once you master that track, then there'll be another track that starts where you left off and then increase 10 or 15%. And it's basically a way to control yourself, because if you don't have a way to control yourself, you just kind of let loose and you're playing as fast as you can, and that doesn't really build up that what's called muscle memory, but I really call it reprogramming your nerves. So if you're using that and you're going, gee, I want to do some other rolls, you can go ahead and play a 7-note roll or play a CD of a 7-note roll. So that's going on, and you can play any roll against that, and it will help you keep in time. So, for example, my actually favorite roll is forward and backwards, which is 5, 3, 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. So it's 5, 3, 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. And it sounds like this. The reason I love this roll is when you're using it in backup, it's very difficult to recognize as a pattern, because as soon as you recognize a pattern, it becomes kind of boring. For example, if I'm doing a 7-note roll and I'm going, I mean, that gets boring, okay? But if I even take the 7-note roll and add an 8th note, in this case, the first string, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just by adding that note and not emphasizing the 5th string, all of a sudden it becomes really smooth. Okay. Now the forward and backward roll will do the same thing. So once again, it's 5, 3, 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. So you can get out your paper and you can write those numbers down. Because in my case, as you get old, I can't even remember where I left my keys. So anyway, so you may have to write it down. But so it's 5, 3, 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. And here's what it sounds like. Case in point, I did a CD with this roll at different speeds, and I played the roll for about 6 hours. And after 6 hours, and I can't replicate this because I'd have to play it for an hour to do it, but all of a sudden you get this drive comes out of that. So that's one roll. The other thing that we did was combine rolls. So you could do the 7-note roll and then play the forward and backward. So here we go. Now I'm going to emphasize the 5th string so you can hear the roll, but that's not what you want to do when you're playing with a band, because the idea is not to hear it. But I'm going to do something so you can hear it. So if you want to practice accenting it like that, that's fine, but when you get to playing, you not accent. Now, I'm going to play the 7-note roll, except it will become an 8-note roll because I'm going to add the first string. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I'm going to play that one measure of that and then one forward and backward. Now, simple, okay? Because if you start playing a bunch of different rolls during the transition, you're likely to maybe accent a particular note. You're likely to maybe get slightly out of time, and you'll lose the drive. So one at a time, but I'll give you some other suggestions. The other is a simple, play the 5th string pinch, 5th string pinch, okay? 5 pinch, 5 pinch, okay? So that sounds like, and now this one you don't really repeat very much, but let's do that, and then an 8-note roll. So for practice you can do that, but in practical application, let's say I'm doing a 7-note roll with the 5th string, which makes it 8, and the forward and backward. Every once in a while, I will add the pinch lick. So here we go. Okay? You can also, now we've got 3 different things, forward and backward, actually 4 things. 7-note roll, 8-note roll, which is 7-note roll with an added first string, and now we have a pinch. So we use those 4 things, and all of a sudden we've got a backup like. Never use the pinch 2 measures in a row. Like you would not go. About the 4th time, all of a sudden a frying pan comes flying through the air and hits you in the head because people just can't stand it. So you don't play that like that. Now, taking this one step farther, we talked in class about playing some licks, fill-in licks, okay? So if I'm doing a roll, and then we have the 2-note roll, which is, you just go, I'm in the 2-measure roll. That's 5 rolls in a row, starting with the 5th string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ending on the 1st. So it's. Okay, now if we start on the 3rd string, so it goes 3, 1, 5, 3, 1, 5, okay? So think of 3, 1, 5 as a roll or a 3-note sequence. So we're going to play that 5 times. Okay, so here we go. Every sequence we change and start on a different finger. So let's start on the 3rd string, okay? And I'm not going to write this out or explain it a lot, so you can just, what I would do is get a piece of paper and write the time codes down of when I explain each roll, and then if you need to go back, you can just look at the time code. So we're going to do that 2-measure pattern, which is 5 rolls in a row. We're going to start on the 3rd string and do it. Then we're going to go to the 5th string and go 5, 3, 1, 5, 3, 1. Then we're going to go to the 1st string, which is 1, 5, 3, 1, 5, 3. And here's what it sounds like. Okay, so we'll do it again. And this time we'll start on the 5th string. 1, 2, 3, 4. Start on the 1st string. 5. Okay, so not for teaching purpose, but just to see kind of where this is headed, I'll just play in G some of these rolls, and then I'll put some of these licks in and see what it sounds like.